May I come in, ma'am?
Please do. Please sit down.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. So your name is Alfred,
Yes, ma'am.
and what is the OV for?
Ma'am, it stands for my family name and my father's name. It's Parapanil Vincent.
Okay, Wilson. So tell me, where are you coming from just now?
Currently, I'm coming from Ghaziabad, ma'am.
Ghaziabad. You stay there or you just...
I'm undergoing probationer as Indian Postal Service.
Oh, you are in the postal service. That's a good service. So tell me about the Quad countries.
Yes.
Have you ever heard about them?
Yes.
Bataiye.
Quad is a security arrangement between India, USA, Australia, and Japan. And the main purpose is to secure the Indo-Pacific and establish a rule-based global order. And they are also trying to contain the rising Chinese hegemony around the Indian Ocean region.
So why do we shift to this Indo-Pacific? First, we never had this word Pacific. We were only Indo or subcontinent or whatever. Now, why did this Indo-Pacific walk in?
Ma'am, the gravity of the global attention has been shifted from Atlantic to Indo-Pacific now. So if you see the major economies we have now, all are surrounded around Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. So it has been rising as a major economic and geopolitical core of the world now. So with the rising China trying to assert its dominance all over, all the other countries are trying to get a hold in. Yes.
They're trying to unite.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Tell me that what is the importance of today? There is some global importance or whatever, some planetary importance of today. Have you heard?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not aware.
Anyway, it's the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse.
Okay.
So they're saying it won't affect India, but I don't. Maybe it will, I don't know. So tell me, why did our finance minister say that we should not make any hasty decision on the cryptocurrency?
Ma'am, currently we have not come up with a particular regulation, but we have decided to tax it. Okay. The reason could be that it's an evolving technology. So if we take a step too sooner, it may affect even the national security thing, because it is not centrally controlled and it is very difficult to control it under a single bracket. But if we ban it altogether, we may be missing out on something. Especially it works based on the blockchain technology, which has further application beyond the cryptocurrency. So they
want to regulate it, is it?
Okay. We are trying to regulate.
They're trying to. They will. Finally, they will. Yes. So tell me about nutritional anemia. Have you heard this word, anemia? Anemic?
Yes.
Anemic person. Have you heard?
Yes, ma'am.
So why have we not been able to resolve it for so many years?
Ma'am, the primary reason could be the intake of essential dietary vitamins by mothers and children. So it continues to pass on as a intergenerational issue. So when an anemic mother gives rise to her children, so that child will have vitamin deficiency and it continue to pass on. So the we should target the specific region where the anemic prevalence is more, and we should try to provide essential dietary vitamins.
So do we give iron folic acid? IFA is called iron.
Yes, ma'am. Iron tablets.
Iron tablets in the diet. That's the main thing.
Yes.
The rest you might go up and down, but iron is a must, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Hettish? Hettich. Hettish.
No, ma'am, I haven't.
You haven't. You don't watch the TV. The German technology where they make manufacturing. They manufacture, drawers and, cupboards, and they're smooth run. If you see in your own house, there might not be such a smooth run, but they manage it so it will run very beautiful. They even keep their ties and suits and, like it's a good ad.
Okay.
It is a real thing. So, sir, please.
Mr. Alfred?
Yes, sir.
And Alfred has done computer science.
Yes.
In computer science, which area you think is most important? Firstly, hardware or software, which is more important?
Both are equally important, but if you see the current scenario, the software and the programming and coding sector is evolving. With the onset of artificial intelligence and data mining, they're more focused on creating algorithms and programs through which we can derive meaningful conclusions and such things. So which
particular language you are interested?
I have worked on basic Java and C.
Mhm.
It's been 4 years, sir.
Okay. So as EDI developer, what does it mean?
That EDA stands for Electronic Data Interchange.
Oh, I see.
It has removed the paper-based transaction which previously in the logistic companies used to have. So it basically automated all the things so that now communication between two different logistic systems of two companies happen automatically. So the exchange of electronic data is happening automatically.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah. And you have indicated Indian Foreign Service as your second choice.
Yes, sir.
Are you keeping in touch what is happening to India's neighbors?
Yes.
Whom do you count as neighbors?
Sir, the one who we share the maritime and geographic continental boundaries with, and we have certain extended neighbors as well where whose policies will have a greater impact on us. So
Very correct. That's very good. And what about our relationship with Nepal?
sir, with Nepal,
Any irritating point?
at present, recently there has been a shortage of power supply from India to Nepal, so that has been highlighted by them. But in the overall scenario, sir, if we look, there has been a change or tilt in Nepal's attitudes to India from the historic stand. There has been a more pro-China stance in the recent times. But India is, we are trying diplomatically to get back our previous hold we have in Nepal.
I understand that looking at what is happening in Sri Lanka, Nepal has also tried to tie up the issues so that they don't land up into that mess. Any idea what they have done?
Not sure of the exact.
Okay. You are okay with northeast geographical boundaries of northeast, different states?
I have basic idea, but clear
idea.
understanding.
I see. The simple question, you see, there is a big state called Assam.
Yes.
Now, Assam has a problem with all its neighbors.
Yes.
That's why neighbors become important. So, out of that, let me pick up one neighbor, Arunachal Pradesh. Old name was NEPA, Northeastern Frontier Agency. What exactly is the problem, border problem between Arunachal Pradesh and Assam?
Sir, I am not aware of the exact issues.
What about Nagaland?
Nagaland, sir, the basic issues with respect to the exit boundaries, because most of them have been carved out from the erstwhile Assam state. They were voicing for autonomy and separate statehood has been given. So the boundaries has been unsettled because of the geographical terrain of the northeast. If we see, we have hilly areas and like connected villages where and multiple tribes where the exact geography, drawing exact geography becomes difficult.
Maybe. So, I mean, different states have different problem with respect to Assam.
Yes.
And you know thing called Rohingya, what it is?
Sorry, sir.
Rohingya.
Yes.
There is a term called Rohingya.
Yes.
What it is?
The Rohingya is a community who has been under pressure from the junta government in Myanmar. So we have now refugees
But
coming.
somebody told me they are under pressure long time back also.
Yes, sir.
There was a prime minister called some Nevin or some name. That time also there was pressure, not only from junta.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what exactly is the issue?
So due to the ethnic clashes, there has been a out-migration from Myanmar to Bangladesh and to India. So that Rohingya community has been seeking refuge in multiple boundary countries.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Alfred, have you heard of Rohingya has been involved in nefarious and other criminal activities?
I've read about few cases, but
But you will not go, never mind, we'll shift gears. Have you worked on Python?
no, sir.
Have you heard of Python?
Yes.
Not the snake, your subject. What is it? What are the advantages that Python has over Java?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, never mind. So we come to a very basic question. As a layman, I'm told that the chip capability is doubling every few weeks. What impact does this chip capability enhancement have on IT?
Sir, primary capabilities, it increases the efficiency of microprocessors and chip. So previously we used to have big microconductors and chips for conducting a large operational capability. But now with increasing efficiency, we have been able to limit the size of the gadgets, especially smartphones and computers. And those small gadgets can do much efficient operational work. So it has increased the operational efficiency of gadgets and limited the size of the gadget. So that is the primary.
So today I said that my smartphone has more computing power than the IBM mainframe computers of 1980. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir, you are right.
So this has more computing ability than IBM mainframe computers of 1980.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, Kerala is well known for overseas remittance to India
Yes.
by their NRIs and other residents outside. What is the quantum of remittance by Kerala residents to India on an annual basis?
Sir, we receive around 20% of the total remittance to India. So in the last financial year, we received around $80 billion. So
$80 million?
80.
80 million, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on that 20% was to Kerala.
The rest is coming from Hawala. Have you heard of Hawala?
Yes.
You know what Hawala is? What is Hawala?
It's like, sir, for the work done in abroad, they'll pay the money there and we'll get paid in home. So there will be some agents for that. So they'll pay to the blue collar workers and all, to their families in Kerala.
So what is the documentation done in Hawala operations? What is the documentation? You get a receipt, somebody pays in England, gets a remittance in Kerala. So is there documentation that one who pays whom in England, there's a receipt, and there's a receipt in Kerala, or there are no receipts, it's all paperless?
It's all paperless, sir. Like there's general understanding.
Is it legal or illegal?
It's illegal, sir.
Why is it illegal? Is doing something very great. Informal banking, so why is it illegal? Who is behind Hawala transactions?
Sir, it falls within the bracket of money laundering because that money it's not documented.
Money laundering, define money laundering first.
Sir, it's trying to show that money which comes from illegitimate source as a legitimate source.
No. Look, maybe you are working in England and you send, say, $1,000 to your father. It's not ill-gotten money, it's something from your salary sending to your father.
Yes.
Where does money laundering come into the picture?
Sir, we are not sending via formal channels. So the black money which is currently
It's not black money, you earned it from your salary, send it from your salary.
No, sir,
You had the option of sending it by a banking channel, then through some relation, like I'm a relation, I'm coming from London to Trivandrum, I could have uncle give it to my father. And the third is Hawala.
Sir, in Hawala, a commission is also involved. Like if we give some money, they'll be paid more in the home state. So that commission is also there. So they're trying to infuse the black money into formal channels.
Where is the black money? You earned your $1,000 from your salary, you send it to your father, and the father is using it in the Indian economy in Kerala. So where did the black money come? And money laundering, have you read the PMLA?
Yes, sir.
Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is the minimum amount that will come in the purview of money laundering. Minimum amount.
Sir,
Do you think $1,000 will be a part of money laundering?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Sermon on the Mount?
Sorry, sir.
Sermon on the Mount.
No, sir.
You've not heard of the Sermon on the Mount?
No, sir. Oh, okay. In the Old Testament. Yes. I studied Bible in Malayalam, so.
It is not in the Old Testament, and I wish you had. It is in the New Testament. Okay, when I think I'm know more about the Holy Bible than you would be 50 years now. We come down to Criminal Procedure Identification Act. Have you heard of this act?
Yes, sir.
Criminal Procedure Identification Act.
Yes.
So, what do you know about this act, and what are the controversies associated with this act?
Sir, recently the criminal procedure amendment, there is an amendment proposed to include the DNA and biological profiling for identifying the crime victims. So the recent controversy is that it violates the right to privacy of each individual, because with the usage of biological data, there will be profiling and much more thing beyond that. So it has invited controversy regarding the recent proposed amendments.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Father,
Yes,
What is the size of his land holding?
it's 1 acre only. Sir. 1 acre only.
1 acre. So, as per general definition, he is a small farmer or a marginal farmer?
Small farm.
Small or marginal?
Uh,
Small or marginal?
Small.
Now, what are the crops? Is only coconut trees or some other crop?
Yeah.
Also?
Coconut, then tapioca. We have a little bit of rubber as well.
So, have you noticed any increase in his income because of the government intervention through different schemes in the recent past?
Yes, sir. With respect to coconut, previously we used to cultivate the traditional variety, which we call block coconut. But now we have the teen duty saplings, which is a hybrid variety. So with the introduction of hybrid variety, the production has gone up, and there has been also provision of like extending the irrigation facility. So recently we have introduced sprinkler, and also it has reduced the manual work, and we are getting more output. And with respect to rubber as well, as sir, there has been hybrid varieties of rubber coming up. So that has been a major shift.
So tell me one or two important geographical features of Kerala which make it attractive tourist destination.
Sir, the primary reason is the Kerala, we call it, it's sandwiched between the coastal plains and Western Ghat mountains. So we have the large beach stretch which attracts tourists from across India. At the same time, we have the portion of Western Ghats, the potential for hill tourism and mountain tourism. And apart from that, sir, the plains have lush green vegetation which also attracts attention from tourists throughout India.
Very. Now, Honorable Prime Minister would be leaving for a tour of Europe day after tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you aware which countries would he be visiting?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure.
No. Okay. Fine. Now, Honorable Prime Minister made a statement in Glasgow that India would become net carbon zero by 2070.
Yes.
So, but the funding required for this achieving net zero would be 8 trillion US dollars.
Yes.
So, from where do you think we will get this much of funding? Can you point out some sources?
Sir, the primary source would be like there is an obligation on the developed countries to
Good.
invest in developing countries for cleaner technologies. So the primary source would be that investment. Apart from that, there is a rising global consensus on taxing the carbon, and also the carbon trading platforms and the international agreements will also bring in more income to work towards clean energies.
Russia and China, they have been saying that their friendship is without any bounds. Do you think that India also has a friend like this, friendship like this? Or if we have to develop friendship with one country, which country would you recommend? Friendship with no bounds.
Sir, I would not recommend any particular country because we have to stand with our national interest and our policies. So, if we develop friendship without bounds, it may affect our national security in long run, such as by external influence and all.
Good. Alfred, I see from your DAF that you are a very, I would say, very much attached to football.
Yes.
You play, you watch.
Yes.
So tell me, you have been regularly watching this Indian Super League and English Premium League.
Yes.
How do you see the future of Indian Super League to become popular like our IPL, which is currently going on,
Yes.
cricket? Do you see that in near future this would be possibility? Or what action should government of India or your football association or they should take to make football that much popular?
Sir, I definitely see the football becoming popular in India in coming decades, but it will definitely take some time. The actions needed are, sir, we have to work in both grassroots and the top level. In grassroots, we need to produce more talents so that the quality of football will increase in India. So that we have to invest in the grassroots infrastructure. We have to conduct more grassroots events so that players will get playing time. We have to scout young talents at a young age so that we can train and grow them up. And sir, at the top level, we need to have a proper league structure with relegation and promotion. If you look at the current structure, we do not have a relegation and promotion, so that will automatically reduce the competitiveness and crowd pulling of an event. So by establishing a proper national link tier, we'll be having more fans following the football, and we can become as popular as cricket in the coming decades.
Okay. Now, my last question. One statement was made by a footballer, Indian footballer,
Yes.
that if we have 11 that name in our team, then perhaps we may participate in the FIFA World Cup. Can you name that player?
Sir, was it Sunil Chetri? Sunil Chetri?
Baichung Bhutia.
Okay, okay, sir.
One statement was made about him that if we have 11 Baichung Bhutias in Indian team,
Okay,
then perhaps we may participate in FIFA World Cup.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Kerala has many success stories,
Yes.
a leading state in many areas. But tell me, what has been the reason for success of women empowerment, socially and economically?
Sir, the primary reason could be the investment in health and education and the high degree of public expenditure by the government. So it has automatically improved the educational health status of the family, and along with that, the woman has also improved. And sir, the another major part is the importance of cooperative movement in Kerala. So if we look from the 1990s, we had these Kudumbasri self-help groups, and that has acted as a catalyst for each and every woman in Kerala, because if we look, at least every family will have one Kudumbasri member, and they are acting as carriers of new things and progressive ideologies. So that self-help group has also helped in the area of women empowerment. And the third thing would be, sir, traditionally, if you see the Kerala society, the labor of women has been respected and valued. We have nurses from Kerala working across India. We have agricultural laborers from Kerala, and we have teachers and also the profession handled by women has been respected and valued historically. So these are the collective reasons which led to high state of women empowerment in Kerala.
Good. There's one Semicon India conference going on in Bangalore. Semicon.
Okay, sir.
It's a short form for semiconductors.
Okay, sir.
So why semiconductors are being discussed so much?
Sir, due to the outbreak of COVID, after the outbreak of COVID, there has been a semiconductor shortage throughout the world, and especially there was a drought in Taiwan, and after that the global semiconductor supply was affected, and it has further affected the production of electric vehicles and electronic gadgets and all. So semiconductor and the lithium ion technologies are seen to be the future of mankind. So it is a heavyweight area, and every country is trying to increase their presence in
No, what is
semiconductor.
India's requirement, consumption like? Is there any sudden growth in consumption of chips and semiconductor in India? Are there any such announcements made by the government?
Yes, sir. With the improvement of solar technologies and announcement of FAME India mission, we are in need of more semiconductors to produce indigenous electric vehicles as well as more solar panels. So that has increased the requirement of semiconductors.
Alfred, you know what is IPO is?
Yes, sir. Indian Postal Service.
No. IPO, initial public offering.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you're right that way also. So you're not with Postal Service, are you?
Yes, sir.
I didn't get in the anyway. So I'll ask first about the other IPO.
Okay, sir.
So LIC is coming out with an IPO.
Yes.
Why there is so much of euphoria about LIC IPO?
Sir, the LIC has been the largest player in the insurance market in India. So the government has decided to privatize it, and it has become a major talk point among the shareholders. So that the market player and the larger status has been attracting many investments.
Tell me, are you aware of details about this IPO? That initially the offering was going to be a bigger amount. Now it has been reduced. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. Because due to the global issues.
Yeah, tell me why. I want to know the reason. I do not want figures. Why it has been reduced from 5% to 3.5%? The size has also been decreased.
because of the reduction in valuation because of the global supply chain effect and its impact on the share market globally. So it has reduced the share so that in coming date we can come up with more shares and we can fetch a better price.
Is there any reason with regard to liquidity also, that more and more liquidity will come in the market which will affect inflation?
I'm not exactly
You're
aware.
not aware of that. Okay, my last question. US recently, a week ago, said, yeah, I will give you all the weapons that Russia is giving. Now, in the light of this statement, what should be India's decision? Should India depend as much on Russia as before, or should you look towards US also to either give all or maybe part weapons in lieu of Russia? What is your view?
Sir, in my opinion, India should definitely diversify its defense sources because we cannot completely depend on one country in the present geopolitical scenario. And we should definitely accept the offer from US to procure more equipment from them. But sir, I also believe that rather than resorting to the foreign supply, we should also enhance our indigenous capacity. So we should try to get investment from abroad on our indigenous technologies so that in coming future we can become self-dependent nation on the defense procurements.
Good. Go, Alfred.
So, Alfred, how are you? Are you doing well?
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing good.
Okay. So, your assessment by this panel is 68%. 6 and 8, 68, right? So, you're a very good candidate. You're already in a job. You have the confidence, the ability to express, to think, analyze, and perform. So, overall, you are a frank person. You don't hide anything, which is good for integrity, you know, that you don't hide anything. If you don't know, say, I'm sorry if you know. Fair enough. So, that's my opinion, and sir will add.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
cool and composed, that's the way it should be. Already that way. Content, and since you are looking only for few services, you have to pinpoint those services and matter connected with them. Police, what are the services you are looking for? Indian Foreign Service,
Of course.
then police service. These are the second and third choices for you.
Yes, sir.
That is, these two you should be followed.
Okay, sir.
So India and its neighbors and various aspects of it.
Okay, sir.
It will be. There was some lack of knowledge in that area.
Okay, sir.
One, just I want to make a one factual correction. The word DNA is not there in the identification. The word DNA is not.
Okay, sir.
So it be meaning that on that issue there was a lot of discussion in Parliament. You are doing that, you are trying to take over DNA. And response was no, your DNA is not to be taken. So then somebody pointed out the word DNA is not. But technically you are right. Biological samples.
Okay.
I will take.
Alfred, good
Yes.
personality has to be clean shaven on the day of the interview.
Okay, sir.
Very good, very cured.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
The
sir.
tie and the knot has to be in the center.
Okay.
And I really see no reason why you should not be aware of the difference between the Sermon on the Mount and the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments in the Old Testament and Sermon on the Mount is by Lord Jesus in Gospel of Matthew, New Testament.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Right.
Somebody might not, because more school have the with the Jesuit brothers. They might ask you about the Holy Bible.
I'll reach this.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Right, sir.
That's what I feel whatever has been said. Your very personality. Anything has remember your energy level.
Energy. Don't.
Okay, sir.
Raise your tone and overall energy level. So confident. Our energy level.
Okay, sir.
And you have to update. What is your answer structure? No point.
Okay, sir.
All the best.
Thanks.
Alfred, excellent performance.
Okay.
Just brush up some of your basic subjects.
Okay.
You know, you tend to ignore, you have done it, I think, way back 3-4 years ago, computer, and then current affairs. Anything in current affairs which is linked to your DAF is a very important question for you.
Okay.
Likely question. Semiconductor, I mean, the Prime Minister had gone, he has made a statement that by 2030, 110 billion US dollars semiconductor market. He has called upon the world to come and invest here. And he has given 5-6 points also. If you read today's paper, why we need semiconductor.
Okay.
So just, I mean, if you had read the newspaper, you would have, because you're very well informed otherwise. This LIC IPO also, I was very happy. And Indian Postal Service, you are already there. So one question that can come is, how do we make the India Post sustainable? Now with the growing technology, no more inlands, no more telegrams, no more envelopes, delivery, private couriers becoming, you know, they have literally captured the market. What are the areas where postal department is entering into, and what are the other possible areas where it can enter? Can you name some of them where they have started doing something different?
Sir, last year we have constituted a directorate of parcel, because with the advent of e-commerce, the parcel delivery is becoming the next big thing. And apart from that, we have also diversified to India Post Payment Bank, IPPB. Good. So we are looking for financial inclusion. And there is also future plans for, one thing is for having a dedicated post office in each district, so that it can act as an export hub for the artisans from that all district. And apart from that, sir, there is also a plan for coming up with logistic post, like entering as a logistic player in the market.
Even passports?
Passport is, sir. Passport.
So very structured. I'm very happy. This is how, you know, you must attend to most of the questions where you know the subject. If you don't know, you can always say sorry. You didn't have that opportunity to say no to any question. I don't remember, but if you do not know, then but when you know, you should structure it the way you, in all the, even women empowerment, I was very happy. You know, you point wise, you mentioned 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Keep it up, Alfred. Nothing more to
Sir, are the hand gestures okay? Because, sorry, hand gestures.
Unusual.
Hand movement.
Very flexible.
Okay, so I,
More straight, okay?
okay, sir.
And your tie should be in the middle of the road policy.
Okay,
It's skewed on the left.
okay, sir.
Keep it at the center.
Somebody will say you are a Keralite, so you are leftist.
Your hand should move not more than 10%.
Okay, sir.
You move it a little bit. You are almost constantly you are moving your hand.
You could smile once in a while.
Okay, sir.
Once in a while, yes.
You'll do very well, Alfred. I am imagining your name on the list.
What was your score last time?
187.
187.
87.
So almost you are touching with the 68%, almost same.
Who score better?
You score better.
No, one who's already in service, you know, there is always a slightly liking for such candidates.
So take
All the
care
best.
well.